G'day guys, in today's shorty and I are going to review the game between Geelong and North Melbourne, which was at Simonds Stadium. It was North Melbourne by 16 points, but mate, what's the headline for this week?
Lowest point in 10 years. I think we may have mentioned in the past, but in what has been a fine era, Cats no hope at this point. It's hard to, not impossible, but it's hard to see light at the end of the tunnel at the moment. It's a bit bleak.
Yeah.
Cats fans are down.
I agree with you, mate.
It's tough.
We'll just wind back a little bit and for what we said a few months ago, back in November when we reviewed Geelong's fixture for season 2015.
That first initial stint of the 2015 is Hawthorn, Fremantle, Gold Coast, North Melbourne, Richmond in round 5. And a few of those, granted, are at Simonds, but they're against extremely good sides. So
Definitely.
we could be 0-5, which is probably unlikely, but we could be. I think we'd be happy to be even 2-3 potentially, but to win 3 of the first 5, I reckon would be a good effort.
So those were the thoughts from a few months ago, mate. How do you sort of look back on it now and how it links back to the current situation?
Interesting looking back because we weren't far off the mark, and it was well noted that we were having a tough run, but I think it's been the way that it's happened. You know, Hawthorn and Fremantle dealt with us pretty harshly. We just got over Gold Coast.
We were struggling big time.
Yeah, as we'll make mention on the finer details, I think our endeavour couldn't be folded, but again, we were found wanting in the business end of the match.
For sure, yeah.
And we said there would be maybe acceptable to be 2-3, 3-2. Gee, let's just hope we can get a second win on the board because it's not looking great at the moment.
No, it's not good, but we'll get into the final points. I saw a few positives, which was surprising given this game, but I reckon it was our best performance for the year.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been many great performances at all. So that's it's the best out of a bad bunch, so, if you like it. So, there you go there. So I thought the ball movement was pretty reasonable. I reckon we had a bit more mongrel about us in this game, more so than any other game this year. Particularly early on, we really wanted to sort of make them earn it and let them know all about it, and I really liked that.
Yeah.
Crowd got involved, which was good. The pressure was good early on, but negatives, I don't like pinning down umpires, mate, because I am one. A goal umpire, not a field, but they were horrible and have been for the last 3 weeks, and I'm not blaming the umpires for why we lost. We lost the game ourselves, but the umpires don't help when it's not consistent between two teams, and so many times I was holding the ball, wasn't paid, in the back, not paid.
Adds a bit of insult to injury, doesn't it, when you're already frustrated with the game and...
Oh yeah, salt in the wound.
Yeah, spot on, It hurts.
Yeah, but I don't like to bag at umpires there. It was brought out too easily out of the back line for North, and when we bombed it in long and high a lot of the time, and it was pretty ineffective because the spare man naturally just marks it, and they bring it out so quickly. And we didn't win enough those crucial 50-50s, especially late in the game where North broke open and kicked, I think, 3 or 4 goals quickly. And it was good night I ran from there. So, those are my points of the game, mate. How did you see it? You went to the game?
Yeah, I was there, and I mean, the basic view of how I saw it was we started great, the intent was great.
Yeah.
Dangerous going forward. First quarter, tick, very good. But then North changed their focus, so... They put the man back, and that was it. We almost... Plan A, great. Plan B,
what?
No plan B. They put a man back, we keep bombing away. Hawkins and Clark, Tarrant, 9 marks, I think 23 touches. Scott Thompson, 9 marks, 25 or something. And Sam Wright, 9 marks.
You got 133 in Supercoach, mate. Yeah. That's unheard of.
It is unheard of. But look, we made it easy for them. They chopped it off all day long. So that was basically it. I thought our endeavour was great. I really did like it. You couldn't fault that, but we just lack the genuine class. And that was Singer. Without sounding like a broken record, contested ball, smashed.
We were down by 32 or something like that, I think.
Yeah, and clearances just lost, but we won the centre, and as I've mentioned again, around the ground is terrible. 29-22, Goldstein dominated.
Yeah, he did. And the way the clearances around the ground are sort of going in favour of North Melbourne now is probably scrappier than theirs, you'd say?
Yeah, the effectiveness is definitely, there's a difference there. And our good mate Gary Lyon, we like watching Gary on a few bits of media. Here's this system, this theory, that you know what you're going to get factor from players. It's a good way, he says, and I agree with him, to gauge a team, because the best sides, you know what you're going to get from the majority of their players. Sometimes they might play elite games, but their poor ones are still pretty decent. At the moment, absolutely. I look at our side and I know what I'm going to get from maybe 3, 4 or 5.
Yeah, Joel Selwood's in there. Up
yeah,
the top.
Of course. You know, Taylor's pretty reliable. Hawkins, for the most part.
We're trying to find that.
So look, that's the problem, and I'll just finally touch on those second-tier players that we need coming through badly. In the midfield, where we're getting smacked. Duncan, I think he had 16. Caddy had 11. Hall and Smith had 10. He'll be on the chopping block. Who else do I have in there? I can't even remember. But Guthrie was 16
Murdoch in there, mate?
Yeah, Murdoch again. Wasn't his worst game, but he's just not coming along. So there are a few of the players that need to step up and lift, and they're just not. So it's a concern.
All right, we'll move on to the votes, mate. You can go with yours.
Yeah,
first,
I'll kick us off.
And then I'll go.
Yeah, well, 3 votes was Joel Selwood.
It's a broken record.
And I love giving him the 3 votes because I love him, but I wish someone else I could give the 3 votes to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Giving him all the time.
Sure, yeah.
I think he had 15 contested touches and the clearances that the Selwood lot, you know, that's what he gives you week in, week out, which is great. 2 votes I gave to Enright. He was pretty solid.
Yeah, he played well.
I think he had 26, used it fairly well, good distributor. And I gave the 1 vote to Jed Buse. I just was really impressed with his game. You know, offensively, he took the game on a couple of times. I was surprised to see he only had 8 touches looking back on it. But the main point was Thomas. You know, Thomas tore us apart in that final last year. He towed Kelly up and Buse did a number on him. He was very good. So, and one of the few positives of individual players from the game. So,
and a second tier player, mate, that you're sort of discussing about.
Yeah, that's right.
Need a lift, and he's one of them.
Yeah, which was good. So, good news there. But how about your votes?
Yeah, well, I went with the 3 to Harry Taylor. He did very well. 19 disposals, 8 marks, and a couple of tackles. He's just the general down back, isn't he? And again, he showed it today, and very composed for the most part, and did a good job. Corey Enright got 2 votes. Probably one of his better games lately.
It was.
He's been off to a bit of a shaky start at the start of the season, unfortunately. Getting a bit older, Boris, but he's getting there. 26 touches and 7 marks, and he was really good using the ball today and pretty composed, so that was good. And the 1 vote to Joel Selwood, he almost can't go a week without getting a vote because he's that good. Or maybe the difference between him and our players is a huge gap. I don't know, but it'll be a bit of both. But he got the 29 disposals, 3 marks and 5 tackles, and again just tries to will us over the line if he can. And he was just better than everyone else.
Yeah, leads by example, doesn't he?
That's it. But on to the chopping block, mate, which you've sort of introduced in the final points section. Go for it.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there's a few on there. Of course, George, Hall and Smith, I've already said. A couple of young guys, which I have a lot of time for, in Darcy Lang and Cockatoo. Well, I think they need to go back to reserves,
I was pretty disappointed with Cockatoo.
I think they had 8 and 7 touches between them. Cockatoo missed a couple of goals that he really needs to kick.
Yeah, that was shocking.
If you're on the side, you need to kick those. So, good future for them, one would hope, but I think they might need to go back and be replaced with some maybe more experienced players.
Yeah,
Blease, I think, is worth a go.
Yeah, give him a crack.
Exactly, as with Dean Gore. I mean, he's, again, I think we said last week, knocking the door down. He's worth giving a shot.
Yeah,
definitely worth giving a shot. Yeah, I'd love to see him play. Lonergan sounds like he's going to come back.
Hopefully.
Stokes is a chance, but I wouldn't necessarily play him. I'd, like I said last time, I'd rather see Blease or Gore first up.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a shoo-in just to walk straight back into that side.
I hope not.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Josh Walker probably made part way because, again, he had little impact, was subbed off. We've got a lot of time for him here, don't we? But it is difficult. We were a bit top-heavy at times. Obviously, the decision was made to go lighter on with him being subbed off, and a lot of marks off opposition kicks.
Yeah,
50.
Easy rebounding out of the back line too.
Yeah, which you mentioned was a feature. So he's got to take that chance. He had 3 quarters to prove himself, and he really did nothing. Last week was great, but I think you've got to settle on Clark and Hawkins. And at the moment, they're playing fairly decent footy considering the entry inside. So
absolutely.
That's a chopping block, and I would like to see a few changes. So
yeah, for sure.
A few new blood, bit of speed, see what we got, because at the moment it's just not working, that combination in there.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
Well, moving on to next week's game, mate.
Yeah.
We got the Tigers at the MCG on the Saturday afternoon, and gosh, it's going to be an interesting contest. This one, they're both at the possibly worst positions that their supporters expect them to be at.
Yeah.
It's tough to know who's the worst side out of us at the moment.
Yeah. Well, we saw both games, didn't we? We were at Friday night.
We went to Melbourne and Richmond. Yep.
They were disgraceful.
They did what we did, just bomb it in and hope for the best, and then despair, man. So it was like watching the same game again, and similar result.
It was, wasn't it? Can they bounce back? Unfortunately, I think the Tigers have a bit more scope for improvement at the moment.
Oh, for sure, yeah, I agree with you.
So that's a concern. It's just a matter of, will they be really fired up and bounce back against us? Well, they may well, I think.
I could not disagree with you at all. Being away from Simonds and we're playing badly at Simonds means carnage elsewhere.
Yeah,
so,
not a good equation, is it, mate?
If we're struggling at Simonds, then we're going to struggle big time elsewhere. I think the Tigers, they do love the G. They challenged us last year. There was 5 points in it, a couple of late goals, but the Tigers did play well in the second half. We've gone down since then. They've sort of stuck around where they're at because they had a terrible start to the year last year with a few injuries out. So I think the Tigers are as good as chance as they have been since 2006 to beat us.
Oh, certainly, mate.
I think they can win it.
Yeah. Well, I can't disagree with you, mate. You know.
Yeah, it's just the way it's going, unfortunately.
Yeah, as you saw in the clip earlier, could we expect to beat Hawthorn? Probably not. Fremantle, probably not. North Melbourne, tough task. Richmond,
Gold Coast, possibly.
They're all tough, but you would expect to beat the Tigers. They're one of the easier fixture-wise ones looking on, but as it comes to now...
Nothing's easy at all.
Yeah, exactly right. I think Scott said in his presser, we've had a tough 4 weeks. Well, Chris, the whole season's going to be tough if you dish this up,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
By the way, I think Chris and the coaching staff have a bit to answer for, but that may be left to another week or video. But look, as for the Tigers, I think they've got a bit more upside and a few more gears they can maybe go to us at the moment. It is a worry on the G at times. I know the Tigers have shown us up nearly at times.
Yeah, last year especially.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a massive game. I mean, we say that almost every week, but you can't afford to go 1-4.
Yeah,
that would be absolute carnage.
Catastrophic.
So, that's right. I mean, that would be, and even for membership, you'd have people jumping off, and it's crucial stages because I don't think we have another Simonds match till about round 12. So
long time, 20 weeks.
I hope people stick around, but. Gee, the crowd was pathetic today, number-wise. I thought they had a bit more mongrel in them, but
how many do they have?
I think it was 23,160 odds.
Yeah, okay.
Poor.
Not good enough since we're still building it and whatnot, and extra development stages. But don't know what's going on.
See who I tip in the tipping video, mate.
Yeah, well, there you go. It sounds like the Tigers. We'll see.
Yeah.
Just a bit of interesting knowledge here, mate.
Yeah.
The last time North beat us at Simonds Stadium was in 2007. Would you believe it was by 16 points?
Oh, you're kidding me, mate.
No,
how about that?
I'm not kidding you, mate.
There you go. And isn't that a nice little contrast?
The contrast between they started the year, and I think today, even though it has possibly been done since 2012, but I think today is just sort of slammed the door shut in terms of any possible chance by the exact same margin at the same ground.
And you'd have to argue that 2007 one was the beginning of our brilliant era. So
they've
a nice little bookend there for you.
They've begun what has been one of the most amazing eras of all time, and maybe officially ended it.
Yeah.
So there you go. But
for all who like symbolism, there you go.
Oh mate, we ended up pretty nicely. Thanks, mate. I've been working on it today, so I had to get that one ready.
Very good.
But that's it for the review today, guys. Not the best performance by the Cats, and well done to North, who we tipped to win, and they did win.
Yeah.
So might actually sneak in a bit of a segment of you, mate. You've got the last 2 margins correct.
Yeah, unbelievable.
We'll just cast back to last week and the week before with Shorty's tips. We got Geelong at the Geelong versus Gold Coast at Simonds Stadium, which is in Geelong, not Gold Coast. It'll be an interesting game, mate. I know who you wouldn't have tipped. Who'd you go with?
I've tipped the Cats by 9 points. Yeah, I don't see it panning out well for us as supporters, I think North Melbourne might get us here. I'll
Yep.
tip them by 16 points.
Well, mate, you're an absolute magician for getting that.
A bit psychic there, but a bit lucky as well.
Very good. Don't forget to check out Ben at thecattery.com.au, who has plenty of Cats content, writes up his previews and does a few reviews as well and puts up our stuff there, so that's good. Darijoe does the Geelong goal highlights each week and does a fantastic job. Not too many goals today, unfortunately, mate. 9 goals. Again, we just can't score anymore. I don't know what's going on.
Disappointing.
I know. Catstars.com.au has plenty of AFL highlights and a lot of Cats content, as stated by the URL, Catstars. So,
We love that.
yeah, that's it. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to us as well and share it around to all your mates. That'd be absolutely fantastic. And we'll see you guys all soon.